Listen to me, your presence makes certain people uncomfortable. And if you're anointed, gifted, or you're simply committed to walking in integrity, this word is for you. Because I heard the Lord say this specifically. He said, stop confusing rejection with irrelevance. Like, I need you to understand what I mean by that. Like, some of you have been carrying a question that you never asked out loud. God, why do I keep getting left out? Why didn't they invite me? Why did they stop calling? Why does the atmosphere change when I enter into certain rooms? Why do people become distant after getting close? You started questioning yourself. Did I do something wrong? Was it something that I said? Was it how I look? Am I too much? And can I tell you something that might change the way you see your life forever? You got to understand that not every room rejects you because you're wrong. Some rooms reject you because your presence exposes what everyone else agreed to ignore. See, we live in a world that celebrates comfort more than conviction. And most people don't mind light until the light starts revealing something. Because light was never in the predicament to argue with darkness in the first place, right? It simply shows up. And the moment it appeared, everything hidden became visible. That's why your integrity bothers certain people. Like your standards make compromising uncomfortable, right? Your discernment, it makes deception nervous. Your consistency exposes excuses. And I want you to notice you didn't have to call anybody out. You didn't have to post about them. You didn't have to throw shade. You simply kept living right. And somehow your life became a mirror. People don't always hate what you say, but sometimes they hate what your life silently says. Like your lifestyle preach a sermon before your mouth ever opened. That's why integrity is so powerful. You don't have to announce who you are because integrity has a volume on its own. You just show up. See, when people who genuinely know who they are don't spend their lives trying to convince everybody else. Like fruit doesn't advertise. Remember this, it simply grows. And eventually somebody notices it. And this is where it gets a little bit deeper because when your value isn't built on applause, right? Where a lot of people in our day in life, they're built on applause, they're built on validation, they're built on all these different things. People who survive on validation won't always know how to relate to you. That's what the tension you're picking up because they need compliments to feel complete. You need purpose. Those two are completely different currencies. You get what I'm saying? So when you can't be manipulated by flattery, people who control through praise lose their greatest weapon. Like, have you ever noticed some people compliment you only so they can control you? Like, as long as you dance to their music, they'll clap. The moment you stop performing for their approval, the applause stops, right? The cosign is off. And it's not because you changed, but because they lost influence. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper because when you stop needing a seat at every table, you become impossible to control by the people sitting at them. And honestly, that's freedom. Like when you realize your identity isn't connected to invitations, you stop panicking every time your phone doesn't ring. You stop wondering why your name wasn't on the list because your assignment is bigger than somebody else's guest list. So what happens in these predicaments? You get overlooked, you get left out, your motives get questioned, your silence gets misinterpreted. People create stories because they can't control your reality. But don't confuse misunderstanding with failure because some people misunderstand what they were never willing to understand. And the truth has always been uncomfortable for people committed to appearances. So remember this. A tree, I like to say this all the time, a tree doesn't become less fruitful because someone refuses to sit beneath the shade. See, the tree keeps on producing, whether anybody appreciates it or not. So likewise, your gift doesn't lose value because somebody overlooked it. Your calling doesn't expire because somebody ignored it. Your anointing doesn't disappear because somebody refused to acknowledge it. So never allow another person's inability to recognize your value to become the measuring stick for your worth. And I want to help somebody because some doors don't close to punish you. They close to preserve you. This is what God is doing in your life in this season. See, some relationships don't end because God is angry. They end because heaven is protecting what he's developing in secret. Because everybody can't go where you're going. Everybody can't handle what you're becoming. Everybody isn't equipped for the weight of your next season. So stop begging for invitations that cost you your conviction. You know what I'm talking about. Stop shrinking so insecure people can feel taller. Stop explaining your calling to people committed to misunderstanding it, because the right rooms won't require you to become a smaller version of yourself just to fit inside. And if you have to hide your convictions, hide your standards, if you got to hide your gift, hide your voice, like, that's not your room. I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, God never anointed you to disappear. He anointed you to shine. Like, and that's why Matthew 5:16 said, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good work and glorify your Father, which is in heaven. And I want to tell you why some people seem uncomfortable around you. It isn't always because they hate your voice, but sometimes they're afraid of what happens when other people start listening, right? That's why they got to control, because influence changes environments. That's why they'll call your confidence pride, your boundaries offense. They will literally say your wisdom is too deep, your standards doing too much. Why? Because labeling you is really easier than growing. Because when you think about growth, growth requires humility. Labels require excuses. So never let somebody else's insecurity become your identity. The oil on your life has always separated people before it ever elevated them. Look at Joseph. His brothers couldn't celebrate the dream because they couldn't separate the dreamer from their jealousy. Look at David. Saul wasn't threatened by David's harp. He was threatened by David's future. Look at Jesus. Jesus wasn't rejected because he lacked compassion. He was rejected because truth confronted comfort. So truth has never been popular with people committed to protecting appearances. So stop trying to become digestible for people committed to staying immature. I'm going to say that one more time. Stop trying to become digestible for people committed to staying immature. Everyone is not assigned to understand you. Everyone is not assigned to celebrate you. Everyone is not assigned to go with you. And that's okay. Receive that in your spirit. Because if somebody has to minimize your light just to protect their insecurity, they were never assigned to your future. And I want you to hear this. Some invitations are delayed because heaven refuses to connect your destiny to a room that's too small for your growth and really too immature for your assignment. God isn't trying to help you fit in. He's preparing a place where your gift doesn't have to apologize for existing. A place where your integrity isn't strange. A place where your standards aren't mocked. Where your discernment is valued. A place where your obedience is celebrated. That's the room heaven is building. So stop chasing acceptance. Don't chase applause. Walk in obedience. I'm serious. Pursue purpose. Stop asking, why didn't they invite me? Start asking, God, where are you leading me? Because what God ordains doesn't have to compete. What he blesses doesn't have to be manipulated. What he opens doesn't require you to compromise. And I declare over your life even right now, may you never mistake delay for denial. May you never mistake rejection for irrelevance. May you never reduce your convictions just to gain someone else's approval. And may every room that has your name on it recognize what heaven already approved. Because what is truly ordained for your life won't merely invite you, it will recognize you.